In Hypixel Skyblock, there's a dimension called the Rift. It takes normal Skyblock, but makes it weird. Instead of normal Minecraft crops, you'll be farming weird crops with different ways to gather them. Instead of fighting zombies or spiders or wolves, you're fighting vampires. Instead of finding fairy souls, you're finding enigma souls. And on top of all that, time doesn't even work correctly. So I had the idea, what if we take that concept and apply it to normal Minecraft? This is the first version of the Rift. Basically, it's just the overworld, but with mycelium. Instead of deep slate, it's snow. That's gonna be the living stillness, I think it's called. There's no features yet, so right now it's pretty barren. As you'll see, this actually has the same exact terrain as the overworld. I did want to make it mirrored, like in Skyblock, but I don't think there's a way to do that. I made it so that your inventory gets stored when you go to the Rift. So if I do to Rift, and then if I look at storage, you'll see this. If we get the storage, you can see it's my inventory. And now if we put it random places now and do this again, as you can see, all the items are correctly there. Now, I haven't made a system to restore your items when you leave the Rift yet, but the plan is to use armor stands and the item replace command. So I made a quick little test function to demonstrate it. It gives me an acacia boat in this slot. But what's actually happening is it summons an armor stand, places the acacia boat in its head slot, replaces my 9th hotbar slot with said acacia boat, and then kills the armor stand, all in a single tick. Now, if this sounds overcomplicated, that's because it is just for a single acacia boat. But with items with enchantments and stuff, this is probably the best way to do this, because for some reason you can't modify the data of the player directly. Alright, so I added a command to do the same thing, but there's this custom NBT here, and you can do whatever you want with it. So if I do that, then I get a netherite helmet in my last hotbar slot, and if I do this, okay, it's armor.head, not equipment.head. Yeah, I get a netherite helmet on my head, and I can do other items. Diamond pickaxe. Yeah. So, little update, I got restoring items partially working. It works on a per slot basis right now, so you'll have to restore each slot individually. But let's say we get just a bunch of random items, and let's say we have a mace with density 5 on it. And so now we go to the Rift, and so the Rift clears our items. Then we go back to the overworld, and now we get this item, we get this item, we get this item, we get this item, this item, this item. Hold on. Oh, I forgot to clear the components before giving the item. The components from all the previous items are left over. Okay, so now it should work as intended. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so I got a bunch of random stuff in my inventory, and now if we go to the Rift, it all gets reset. But if we go back to the overworld, everything's back. I'm really happy I managed to figure this out. It doesn't work with the armor yet, but that's the next step. The way it works is with this simple recursive function that increases the index every time and then runs itself again until it reaches the end of the list. Now we have a different inventory across the overworld and the Rift. and you can go between the two dimensions as much as you want, and your inventories will still be there. Okay, so now that I have the rift transfer stuff working, I want to make the rift actually worth going to. So first of all, I want to add rift biomes, same as overworld, but rift stuff. As a quick test, I made it so that overworld biomes are in the rift. Most of it works fine, but certain features are inconsistent across the overworld and the rift. I don't know if it's because 1.1 to 1.5 changed world generation. Oh well, maybe I'll just have to work with that. It's not a huge deal. Now this may look the same as the previous update, but that is where you'd be wrong. As you can see here, it's actually the rift version of the sparse jungle. So that means I'll be able to change the biome to my liking. I had to find a way to get the overworld biome waiting list. It was harder than it sounds because the preset that's there is just hard-coded. There's no list of biomes anywhere. I had to go to this site called Snowcapped. Looks pretty useful. If I ever want to make another world generation mod, I can see myself using it, but for now I just used it to get the vanilla Minecraft biome values. I could also see myself using the subscribe button. I'm doing a face reveal at 10 million subscribers, so subscribe if you want to see that. So I've been riftifying the biomes. As you can see, these trees don't have leaves on them anymore. And I've been realizing this project's gonna take a lot longer than I thought it would. So I'm probably gonna have to split the video into multiple parts, so it doesn't take forever to be made. All the vegetation is pretty much gone. The flowers have been replaced with mushrooms. There's no leaves on any of the trees except pale oak trees. I thought it would look cool, and I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with bamboo. Wow, I didn't know bamboo could just grow into mushroom blocks. I think the surface of the rift is pretty much complete. Anyway, before I work on the underground, I want to work on the actual functional mechanics of the rift more. Alright, if we go to the rift, you'll see I have rift time now, and it decreases as I'm just in the rift. And then if it goes all the way to 0, I get sent back to the overworld. Yay! So I added a little display here for the rift time, and it shows the minutes and seconds. And once it falls under 1 minute, it goes down to seconds. Alright! I got the zombie to deal damage in rift time. As he's damaging me, my rift time goes down. It doesn't update instantly because I guess Minecraft just doesn't want to update that bottom bar too often. But yeah, it damages me in rift time. This zombie has a very low attack damage, so you're never gonna notice any health changes. And it also has an invisible item with a custom enchantment that runs the rift time logic. Alright, we have an enemy. Also, I got the rift damage working. Kind of. Not really. The thing is crits. So what I'm probably going to do is make it so that rift damage is just a custom system entirely. It's been a few days since the last clip because the foraging update came out, and I have been grinding that update. I got rift damage to work. It's the same amount of damage whether or not I crit. I'm using the damage command, so I don't know why these hearts are showing up. I'm guessing there's some weird quirk with the game's code, where if a player damages a mob, then it calculates all damage taken that tick and then spawns the hearts for that, so I might need to add a 1 tick delay to that somehow. On another note, I started working on a Rift menu using the new dialogue feature. It's very basic. This doesn't even work. Also, I thought they would remove this by the time the update went live. What even is the point of this when you can easily bypass it? Now I have to do a laggier solution that accomplishes the exact same thing. Isn't it the best thing ever when your code works first try, even though you don't think it will? Like, I just made some functions to try and detect if you had items in your inventory so I could use that for the crafting system. It was really poorly thrown together. I thought, no way this will work first try. It does. It checks if it has these oak logs with the custom ID of Riftwood. If I throw them out, it doesn't work. And it does work normally, and it does depend on the count too, so it also works with multiple items. Right now I have it so it checks both these logs and these acacia doors. Each one has a special ID, and we can test them both. And it's a success if we throw one out. It's a fail. Well, I've got the Rift menu and crafting pretty much completely working. So you see this, you can press craft, and I'll get rid of this later, but for now, you spend the resources and you get the item. There's also exit Rift, which just exits the rift. Rift armor, we have it now, and it actually increases rift time. So if we go back to the overworld and to the rift, I only have 8 minutes, and if we put on this OP dev armor, then look at that. Oh yeah, I also made it so that armor persists through transitions. And that is the last thing on my to-do list. Ah, that is so satisfying. I am finally done getting all the mechanics working, all the basic mechanics. Of course, it's still not in a playable state, but I'll leave that for a part 2. Now that I have the basic groundwork done, it should be easy to add new stuff. I'm just gonna do a quick test to see if everything works out fine from a fresh installation. From a fresh world, I mean. Ooh, I actually like all this snow, and you will see this purple concrete powder here. This is rift sand. Oh, okay, I forgot to make it so that you're given a rift menu when you first enter the rift. I haven't added drops for most things yet. Progression right now is impossible. Things seem to be going pretty smoothly. I really like how the terrain generation turned out. Let's summon a shy. Yep, it deals rift time damage. And I kill it, I get a shy crux. Cool. Now we can craft a rift sword. Oh, I didn't change that yet. Insufficient materials? Okay, there we go. Why was that a thing? I am so confused. Why did I put that in my code? For some reason, I was referencing 2 different things when I said reference item. I don't know why I did that. I don't know why it was working on the other world. That is the weirdest bug I have ever seen in anything I've ever made. But hey, it's fixed now. I guess now that that bug's fixed, pretty much everything's working. Just to confirm, armor is working, potion effects are correctly given back, and if I take damage, Alright, there we go. It checks if you have maximum health, and if you do, it waits to damage you. I think all of the issues other than the rift menu are solved. Now I want to give one last check of the data pack in another new world. Another snowy world. Does the rift have powdered snow actually? Oh, I want to find out. Oh. Okay, I made progression impossible in the overworld. I thought I checked only players in the rift. Alright, let's see what the rift looks like. We get a rift menu, good. Is there powdered snow? There is. You know, I just realized I could use powdered snow at deep slate level for the living stillness. That's interesting. Even when I don't take fall damage, it still says I trip when I land on powdered snow, even though it doesn't say that with any other block. That's an interesting bug. Okay, crafting works fine. Looks like everything works fine. Oh, this is cool terrain generation. So anyway, I just need to fix the crafting grid restriction. I think that's all that needs fixing. And then I can get this video out. Finally! I've been wanting to make this video for so long. I'm so glad I finally get to do so, even if it's only a part 1. Yay, I fixed it! So you can just do normal survival outside the rift. Yay! So you may be wondering, how do I download this? Well, because this data pack is very incomplete, it just has the basics down. I'm not gonna publish this data pack on Modrinth yet, but I will put it on my Discord server, link in the description. And this is also significant because I want you to help me make this data pack. Because I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know where to go from here. So if everyone collaborates and shares around ideas, I'm sure we could make something great out of this. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe for part 2. Goodbye.